Hi there. So a question from the field came in today about the GetQueryStringParameter function within Nintex Workflow Cloud Forms. So I thought I'd do a quick video of it. Really useful way of pre-filling information that is standard across forms. So without further ado, let's jump into the use case. So I've got a form here. It's going to push some information into SharePoint Online. It's going to send me an email. This is our event feedback process. So if you've attended a workshop or webinar and you've been asked to give some feedback, this is the form that we use. But because we run quite a few of these and because we get quite a few attendees, the information can be quite different. So it's really important to standardize that as it comes in. So I'm going to click on my start event form. It's important to note the GetQueryStringParameter is supported in both the authenticated forms in Nintex Workflow Cloud and also anyone with the URL forms. So those forms for my workshops where it's not a Nintex person that's attended, we can still use that function and they can still give us feedback. So if I just click on my design form, I've got three controls here that allow quite a bit of ambiguity, shall we say. So let's click on my preview. Let's say I had an event that was online for robotic process automation. Giving it to people in this form means that I've got people popping in RPA, I've got people popping in robotic process, so on and so forth. If it was online, people are writing Zoom, people are writing online, people are saying virtual, and that's not accounting for spelling mistakes as well. My presenter, it's really important to get the information in about the presenter so that I get the ratings right. So it could be Chris E, it could be Chris Ellis, it could be Chris, it could be Mr. Ellis, and that doesn't help me standardize my report at the other end. That's where GetQueryStringParameter and the read-only function is actually going to be really helpful. So when I'm actually building this, all I need to do is click on the default value for each control. I'm going to scroll down to my GetQueryStringParameter. There's a bit of helper text in here that shows you how to construct the formula, but also how to construct the URL. So I'm just going to insert that GetQueryStringParameter, and this first one was event. Now I'm going to use a capital E, and it is case sensitive. Make sure you spell these correct as well, because when you construct the URL, that's the exact syntax you'll have to use. And I'm going to select read only. I'm going to change that for location as well, and finally presenter. So let's go to GetQueryStringParameter. This is my location with a capital L. And make sure it's inside the quotations as well. And finally my presenter. Let's insert presenter, quotations, insert, and then make that read only. So now I've got three read-only grayed out boxes, but when I actually open up the standard URL after I publish the form, it isn't going to have any information in there. So I'm going to have to construct a unique URL for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm actually going to open up an incognito window. I'm going to paste that in, just so there's not really any smoke and mirrors here. So I'm going to go to that URL. And it is going to present me with a stock standard form, and I cannot edit these three controls. But what I can do when I'm constructing the URL is actually make it so that it is pre-filled. So I'm going to use my question mark event equals demo 123, click on enter, and that should pre-fill that information. There we go. So in order to do the other two, I just use an ampersand. Location, make sure it's spelled correct with my correct syntax, equals, let's say, virtual. Press enter just to make sure that that's working as we test as we go. And finally, one more ampersand, presenter equals, and you'll see it puts the %20s in there for me when I refresh the URL. So demo123 virtual Chris Ellis. I'm able to share this URL with anyone that's attended this particular event. I'm then able to construct a new URL for any others that I need to, but that's how we can use GetQueryStringParameter and the read-only control to pre-fill information in a form that you don't necessarily want the end user to be able to change. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.